Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Chicken nugget. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
All rise and like, subscribe, and bang the gavel, baby.
And all rise. Order in the court. We got a case. It is time. Myself, Credence, and Mikey the Legend, welcoming you to a brand new week. Ready to go. Mikey found something that just happened a few minutes ago.
As we were all learning together about the whole, your scoring system, we'll say.
Mr. Polk has three
Pop
cases pending.
Talks about
the
this
court,
gentleman's score.
and he intends to enter a plea
Judge
of
Pawpaw.
guilty to a charge of felony
courtroom, I
DUI
can't tell.
in cause number 21-1-275. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. And
And what's happening in the other two cases?
There's only one other matter, Your Honor. It's 22-1-11-14. As soon as this plea is entered and accepted, I will file a motion to dismiss with prejudice on that case.
I see. Okay, thank you. Mr. Polk, good morning.
Good morning.
The funniest thing,
Mr.
Creed,
Polk,
also
I'm being
is
told that you intend to plead.
Tyson Martinez has been Creed framed for over an hour. No one
Oh
said a
my
word.
God. Over an hour? It's been
Over an
sitting
hour.
guilty to a charge.
Just so you know, of course, we try to talk as little as possible. We're not lawyers. We're not judges. We're just sitting here kind of as Law Talk with Mike had said. We're almost like a jury, if you will, from that respects. Anyways, let's do it.
So see if you can have a staring contest with Tyson.
Charge of felony driving while under the influence in cause number 21-1-175. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, sir.
Is your decision to plead guilty to that charge a decision that you have made voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Have you had adequate time to think about and to consider that decision?
Yes, sir.
I've been provided two documents, Mr. Polk, that relate to your plea of guilty. One is entitled Plea Agreement. The other is entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Did you read and sign each of those documents?
Yes, sir.
Do you read and understand the English language well?
Yes, sir.
Not bad.
Ah.
Oh no.
Were
Just
you with
Pawpaw's
your
sick.
attorney when you read and signed those documents?
Yes, sir.
The maximum punishment for felony driving under the influence is 10 years in prison and or a fine of $20,000. If you plead guilty to that charge today, you'll come back before the court to be sentenced at a later date. And at that time, the court must.
Hi, Robert. Thank you for the Facebook stars. But Ulysses,
Whoa!
Dirty Bones, both of you getting the day started right.
All the
Say that
love.
and not be interrupted by Judge Pawpaw here with this nice man.
This weekend you stayed in the county?
No, for what?
Ulysses.
Tell us everything.
Is there any pictures or mug shots or did you step in front of a camera? I need to know.
Back to court.
Sentence you within a range that is set in part by your offender score. Do you know what an offender score is and how it's used?
I'm learning.
Pardon me?
I'm learning.
Okay.
As are we.
I'm being told that you
On
have
the
an
job.
offender score that is greater than 9. Do you believe that's accurate?
I'm unsure, sir. I was never told that it was greater than 9. But
I don't know.
I'm
You
not
should
sure.
know best.
Festy,
Pawpaw.
did you review with Mr. Polk?
I'm wondering, is that it? Like they don't go past 9. Like 9 is it, and if it's either 9 or greater.
Oh, it's like maxing it out. Like you're.
Yeah, like we're not gonna sit here and tally up 50 of them.
Carrie, 18 weeks. Thank you. Stars, Facebook. What a great start to the Monday.
Greater than 9, and Paw doesn't seem like he says that very often.
His offender score and the calculation of it being greater than 9.
Yes, Your Honor, the defendant and I reviewed it. I told him it was in excess of 9. We reviewed the underlying offenses at stake in this matter. And I know it's 9 or greater. Yes, we have reviewed this. It's beyond the standard range.
Mr. Polk, in the plea agreement on pages 2 and 3, there is a listing of
DTF
criminal
calling,
convictions
by the
you've had
way.
in your lifetime. Did you review that?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe it's accurate?
Yes, sir.
All right. With an offender score of greater than 9, if you plead guilty today, when you appear before the court to be sentenced, the court must sentence you to a period of incarceration of not less than 63 months and not more than 84 months. The prosecuting attorney is going to recommend that you be sentenced to serve 63 months in a state correctional facility.
It's like
Is
500
that
years.
your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
The state is also going to dismiss charges against you that are pending in cause number 22-1-11. Is that also part of your understanding of the plea agreement?
Very frozen. Or
Mr.
just
Polk, if
shocked.
you plead guilty today, when you appear before the court to be sentenced,
Been there
the
forever.
prosecuting attorney will recommend that you be ordered to serve 63 months in a state
Fine.
correctional facility, which is the plea agreement that you have reached with the prosecutor. The court will
Thanks for the fake
consider
start
that
there.
recommendation and will also consider anything that your attorney has to say regarding sentencing, and you will have an opportunity to address the court before you are sentenced. After the court hears all of those recommendations and statements, the judge will
Dang.
decide what your sentence is.
And that's
the
a
judge
plea
is
deal,
not
right?
Obligated to
Uh-huh.
follow the prosecutor's recommendation
Best
in this
possible
case of 63
outcome.
months. Do you understand that?
He must have been facing some real serious time to take this plea.
That's Mikey Mather. Close to give or
Close
take.
enough.
Do you have
Round up.
any questions you want to
round
ask me regarding the consequences to
decimal.
you of pleading guilty?
No, sir.
The statement of defendant on plea of guilty explains to you your constitutional rights and informs you that if you plead guilty to this charge, that you will be waiving all of those constitutional rights. Do you
Conrad
understand
Harley,
that?
thank you for the 5 bombs.
Yes, sir.
You understand what it means to waive your constitutional rights?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe you fully understand the rights
really
that you
into
would be
this.
giving up today by pleading guilty?
Yes, sir.
And I want to know all the detail. I think he'll say it after this. They have to, I think.
Yeah, they
Usually.
should. They should.
After
To the
the-
charge of felony driving under the influence, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Driving under the influence.
Well,
Mike checking out his hair.
oh, it looks good. Combed just right.
The charging document
forward.
alleges that on the date of the offense herein, that you were operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol and or with a blood alcohol level in excess of 0.08. Is all of that true?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Did this take place in Grace Harbor County?
Yes, sir.
I'd hate to have to pull hard time for drunk driving. That's
I'm going to
like-
make a finding that there
right.
exists an adequate factual basis to support the plea. I'll make a finding that Mr. Polk is proceeding voluntarily today, that he fully understands his constitutional rights and has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of those rights. Based on those findings, the plea of guilty will be accepted. Mr. Festi, when do you wish to have the sentencing hearing conducted?
Thank you,
Great,
Your
man.
Honor. May it please the court on behalf of
Yeah,
Derek Polk,
Festi.
who's currently serving as a trustee at Grays Harbor County Jail. He's earned that privilege based on good behavior. Sir, I'd ask for a window of 5 weeks. That's normally beyond the standard range for such sentencing hearing. My client, I'm working with an individual to help my client obtain an evaluation. Certainly, the court will consider any information my client and I gather to present to you at that time.
A
No
mental
promises have
evaluation
been
or like
made
a
that there could be an
Drunk
exceptional
evaluation.
sentence downward. We certainly want to present substantial and compelling information for the court to review at a sentencing hearing. He understands it will be your final decision, but we wish to have this window to gather adequate information and to present it properly for the court's consideration.
May 16 at 9 a.m., Mr. Festi?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Polk, we'll see you back on May 16th at 9 o'clock for your sentencing hearing.
Thank you very much, sir.
Look at
Thank you.
Tyson's room, by the way. He's got a step ladder. He's got an American flag thing on the back.
America.
He's got all kinds of great
Your
stuff.
Honor, this is the clerk. Are we striking all dates?
Yes, all dates are stricken with the exception of the sentencing hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tyson.
He is
Tyson.
saved forever
All right.
now in our hearts.
I think that completes the in custodies. State of Washington versus Tyson Martinez.
Tyson, wake
Good
up,
morning,
Tyson.
Your Honor. Brittany Stevens on behalf of Mr. Martinez.
All right, Mr. Martinez, you need to turn on your video.
Okay.
Oh, he's alive. I heard him.
Did he screen capture himself so he could do
All
something?
right, good morning. Ms. Stevens, is it your
Morning.
intention today to plead
It's a lot
guilty
different.
to
Took his hat
the
off.
charge of possession of methamphetamine with intent to deliver?
That is the plan today, Your Honor. I've spoken with Mr. Martinez.
Sounds good. Turn up your
He does
volume,
intend
please,
to plead
Tyson.
guilty today. He was ordered to be in person. He has a death in the family and it was not able to get to the courthouse in time for court this morning, but he is present over Zoom. I have
Convenient.
discussed all of the options in incredible depth with Mr. Martinez, and he understands all of his options and would like to proceed with the plea agreement today.
D.
Mr. Martinez, why are you not present in court today as I directed last Friday?
My mother, she passed away on Saturday. So I'm there taking care of family stuff, family affairs.
Can we look into that case? Make sure Tyson didn't do it. Judge is
All right,
thinking.
We'll see how this goes. Mr. Martinez, is it your intention to plead guilty today to the charge of possession of methamphetamine with intent to deliver?
Yes.
Pardon me?
Yes, sir.
Is your
Popeye taking it.
decision to plead guilty to that charge a decision that you have made
Does she really
voluntarily?
have a lip piercing?
Yes.
I see it's.
I've been provided
Something
two
there.
documents, Mr. Martinez, relating to your decision to plead guilty. One is entitled Amended Plea Agreement. The other is entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Did you read and sign each of those documents?
Yes, I did.
Were you with your attorney when you did so?
Yes, I was.
Do you read and understand the English language well?
Yes, I do.
Huh? Judge already hates this guy,
The
apparently.
maximum punishment for possession of methamphetamine with intent to deliver is 10 years in prison and or a fine of $25,000. If you plead guilty to this charge today, when you are sentenced, the court must sentence you within a range that is determined in part by your offender score. Do you know what an offender score is and how it's used?
Yes, I do.
I'm being told that you have an offender score of 4. Do you believe that is accurate?
4.
Yes, I do.
The other guys
With
was
an offender
greater than
score of
9.
4, your standard range of sentence would be incarceration in a state correctional facility for not less than 20 months and 1 day and not more than 60 months. The state of Washington is going to recommend that you be sentenced to serve 20 months confinement as part of a prison-based DOSA alternative sentence. Or in the alternative, if you are either unwilling or not qualified to participate in a prison
Grips here.
DOSA, the
What's a
state is going
DOSA?
to recommend that you be ordered to serve a term of 30 months in a state correctional facility. Is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, it is.
It sounds like 20 months of DOSA sounds like the way to go.
If you plead
Drug
guilty to this
offender
charge today,
sentencing
Mr.
alternative.
Martinez, the state will recommend the sentence
go.
that I just described to you, a prison-based DOSA, or in the alternative, 30 months of confinement. And the judge will consider that recommendation. The judge will also consider anything that you have to say, anything that your attorney has to say, and if there is a DOSA evaluation prepared, the judge will consider that evaluation. But after hearing and considering all of that information, Mr. Martinez, it's important for you to understand that the judge is not obligated to follow anyone's recommendation. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
So if you plead guilty today, the judge could sentence you to a term of 60 months in a state correctional facility, and you would have no right to appeal that sentence. Do you understand that?
I understand, yes.
Okay. After you complete serving whatever period of incarceration is ordered by the court, you will be on community custody for a period of at least 12 months and perhaps as long as 20 months, depending upon whether or not you receive a DOSA. Do you know what community custody is?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I bet he does. With his
The
score of
statement
4.
of defendant on plea of guilty, the other document that you signed, Mr. Martinez, explains to you all of your constitutional rights related to the charge filed against you, and informs you that if you plead guilty, you will be waiving all of those rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe you fully understand the rights that you would be giving up by pleading guilty?
Yes.
Right. Do you have any questions you want to ask me regarding the consequences to you of pleading guilty or the constitutional rights that you would be giving up by pleading guilty?
No, sir.
To the charge of possession of methamphetamine with intent to deliver, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
The accusation against you is that on or about January 30 of 2022, that you possess methamphetamine with intent to deliver it to another person, and that you did so in Grace Harbor County. Is all of that accurate?
It is, Your Honor.
That is in fact what happened?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll make a finding that there's an adequate factual basis to support the plea. I'll make a finding that Mr. Martinez is acting voluntarily today, that he fully understands his constitutional rights, has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of those rights. Based on those findings, the plea of guilty will be accepted. Am I going to be asked to sign an order for a prison-based DOSA evaluation?
Yes, Your Honor. I've prepared one and we'll put one in your unsigned orders folder.
Okay.
I also, it is taking about 2 weeks to have the evaluations completed. I am going to be out of jurisdiction on the 25th, so I would ask that sentencing be put over to May 2nd.
Me too.
Stevens sentencing on May
Out of
2nd at
jurisdiction.
9 a.m. Does that work for you?
That does, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Martinez, your next court hearing will be your sentencing hearing. That will be held on May 2nd at 9 a.m. I'm going to sign an order today directing the Department of Corrections to conduct an evaluation of you regarding
He's got
your
the perfect
application for a
excuse to
prison-based
reuse
DOSA.
that everybody
It's
uses.
in your
Somebody
best
died.
interest and very important to you that
True.
you cooperate with the Department
Thank you
of
for the
Corrections
Bob
when
Louie,
they
Bob.
contact you about processing that evaluation. Do you understand?
Or in the freezer.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right.
She's in
You
a
must
Pepsi
be in
cooler up
court in person on May 2nd at 9 a.m. I will see you then.
I will.
All
Okay,
right,
thank
that's
you.
all for today. Thank you.
I know. I noticed that cooler. I wonder if that's a foam cooler. It's
It is. It
probably
is.
worth a little bit. I just wish he'd
Turn
maybe
it
it's
the
on
right
Mets, you know,
way.
you know, but I
I
wish
mean-
he'd just put it up, you know.
No, he's high on meth all the
All
time.
right, I think
At
that
least turn the cooler,
concludes.
right?
No,
Thank you,
I
Pamela.
have another case. State of Washington versus Anthony Lusk.
I'm out of here. Wait a minute.
Present in the
Lusk,
courtroom. Present in the courtroom.
Oh,
Present
right.
in the courtroom.
Mr.
Your
Festi, I
Honor.
received your supplemental sentencing statement regarding Mr. Lusk's employment. Are we ready to proceed now?
Yes, we are able to move forward, sir.
Ms. Dorn, are you ready to proceed?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that the court was familiar with the sentencing statement I previously provided.
I am.
The recommendation, okay, the recommendation in this case was 4 months. I'm going to rely on that statement and ask for the 4 months.
All right, Mr. Festi?
Miss
Your Honor,
Dorn, very good friends with Meg.
Sentencing had been continued in this matter about 5 or 6 weeks. Per the documents submitted yesterday, I can represent that when my client received a rejection letter from Target Stores after he'd first been accepted into that firm, it left him a
What?
little bit low, disappointed, but
He
resilient.
thought he was getting a job
He
with
obtained a
Target and
job
they
at a
turned him
firm
down.
called From the Soil, an agriculture-related company in Elma. I contacted the person represented on the stationery you received, Jason, talked to him this morning. He says Mr. Lusk is part of the team out there. He'll be involved in physical labor. Mr. Lusk, I think the court also provided the defendant a benefit. He is currently involved in family law matter in Olympia. He wants to be part of the child's life. He faces a risk today of 4 months in jail with any credit for time served. But if he had an opportunity to be engaged in work, he's still found that he's able to see his son. But I think it's very beneficial to his own sense of self-worth to have a job and to have a sense that he is providing for his son. What he did, though, in this matter was a very serious breach of criminal law. That
At
should
least he
not
made it in
be,
here.
that's not something
Yeah.
we're going to suggest as a small thing.
Mavis made it in.
We'd
as well.
ask the court, though, to give him a chance to continue working this job. I think it will bring about reform in him. It's certainly brought about a sense of self-esteem. His mother, who was very concerned about him and his relationship with the child, spoke with me yesterday. She's delighted her son has a job. This seems to be giving him some direction in life.
With
We'd
the
ask
firm?
court to
With the
consider
firm
the
of
impact of how
soil.
a job would affect the sentencing decision. He's worked very hard to get it. He doesn't want to lose it. Thank you.
It's a big
He may
career
have
in
some
the,
words to
the
share. too.
dirt firm.
He
Mr.
called
Lusk,
it the firm,
is
right?
there
I
anything
mean,
you wish to say
Target as a firm.
that you want me to consider before I make a final decision?
Take the mask down so you can hear you clearly.
I would just like to
Take the
thank
mask
you,
down,
Your
you
Honor,
big pussy.
for helping me get on my feet and finding a job so I can provide for my son.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
Mr. Lusk, when you were before me for sentencing last month, unemployed and not able to provide any support for your young child,
Bastard son.
I was
He's a
inclined to sentence you to something near the top of the range in this case, which is 12 months in the Grace Harbor County Jail. However, you have responded as you should have to the direction I gave you about finding a job, and you are now gainfully employed. I think that
At the firm.
could very well be a life-changing occurrence for you, Mr. Lusk. Going to work every day, earning a living, being able to support your child are all things that will make you feel better about yourself and about your life, hopefully, and that we will not see you back in the system again. I am not going to impose a sentence that will cause you to lose your job. When you were originally brought into custody in this matter, it appears that you were in custody for about 7 days. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
He was going to give him 12 months. What's he going to give him now? Any time is going to make him lose his job.
At the firm.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to impose a sentence of 6 months in the Grace Harbor County Jail. I'll give you credit for the 7 days you've served. And Mr. Lusk, I'm also going to give you credit for, against the sentence, for every day that you remain employed full-time. I'm going to see you back 6 months from now. If you're still employed full-time and have been continuously for that 6 months, that will satisfy the period of incarceration I'm imposing. Do you understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to order that you pay restitution to the victim in this case, the Olympic Chevron station. I'm going to order that you pay the $500 victim assessment. You will not be permitted to own, possess, or have under your control any firearms. That prohibition will
I like
continue
this
for many
sentence, to be
years
honest
until
with you.
such
I'll
time
be
as you
very honest.
qualify to apply to a court of record to have that right restored. I don't want you to have any contact with the victim in this case for a period of 10 years.
Woo!
Mr. Feste, have
10
I missed
years.
anything?
No, sir, Your Honor. I think that the defendant has taken good actions in this matter. I'm hopeful he responds to your direction. I think a job can be a changing thing for his life and for his whole family. Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Lusk, I'm
That's one
going
way
to
to keep
ask
the
the
guy going to
prosecutor
work.
to select a date in mid-October for you to come back and for a review. And when you come back at that time, I want you to bring either a letter from your employer or such records as will allow me to confirm that you have been employed full-time continuously since today. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you back in October. Mr.
And-
Feste,
And
will your client stipulate to the judgment and sentence being signed outside of his presence?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's satisfactory, Your Honor. He'll sit by the window and we'll wait for the appropriate documents from Ms. Dorn.
Okay, Ms. Dorn, anything further?
By the window.
yes, Your Honor. So
I love this sentence, by the way. I mean, to me, it's the smartest thing I've heard all day. I mean, you've got to keep your job to stay out of jail. For
Yeah.
every day you don't go to work, you're
Oh, I
going to
love
serve
it.
a day in jail. I mean,
How
it's
long
a-
does that take him, though?
hopefully, I mean, if it was me, I'd be busting my ass making sure I didn't. I would go to work throwing up on the side of the road and everything.
No
else.
kidding. I'd be at work like 24/7. Over to City of Bothell. Wherever that is, just brought in a new customer. New to us, I believe. However, of course, I jump over and the judge jumps out and there's no volume. So
Well, I mean, you can go back to Judge Paul. Paul, he's bringing in Evan.
well, let's go
morning,
back.
Your Honor.
Yeah, let's
What are
go
we
back
doing
for
with
Evan
Mr.
and
Scuzzi today?
see what happens here.
Your Honor, the court should have been presented an agreement between the parties that we've reached a resolution subject to your review and approval.
A
Christmas
stipulated
at Shauna's
order of
house.
continuance?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay.
Oh,
And have you reviewed that with Mr. Schnazzy?
I have, Your Honor, and the court can see that he has
Mr.
initial
Snazzy.
everywhere that is appropriate as well as has signed off on the document, Your Honor.
Okay, and is Mr. Schnazzy with you now, or where is he?
He is appearing remotely, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Schnazzy, can you hear me right now?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Schnazzy, I'm being told that you and your attorney have reached an agreement with the prosecuting attorney to resolve your case through what a document
There you go.
entitled stipulated order of continuance. Is all that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you carefully read the stipulated order of continuance?
Yes, sir.
And did you discuss it and review it with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any
Did you get
questions
picked
you
on
want
a
to
lot
ask
when
me
you were in
about
school
what this
with that man?
document says or what it
Mr.
means to
Schnazzy.
you?
No.
Okay. Do you believe it's in your best interest to enter this stipulation and order of continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you believe you fully understand what your obligations will be if I approve this order of continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you believe you fully understand what the consequences would be to you if you did not live up to your obligations under the order?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Kupka, are you satisfied that your client fully understands what he's doing and that he's acting voluntarily?
I do, Your Honor. He's fully aware of this, and I can also advise the court, Your Honor, that the full restitution amount of $3,302.86 is currently sitting in my IALTA trust account,
Okay.
and that will be payable to the clerk of the court, hopefully by the end of this week or next week.
Okay. Ms. Zorn, anything further for today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I will sign the order of continuance.
Your Honor, can we set a review in 6 months then?
Yes, and we will strike all other dates that are pending right
Noise
now.
like somebody's
including the
trying to
trial,
escape from prison,
and,
digging.
We will see Mr. Schnazzy back for a review in about 6 months.
Over to Linwood Municipal Court.
Hey, now.
This is a new one.
She got really blonde hair, or is she wearing a cap?
I
The warrants are quashed.
think it's a
And then the
quash
address
hat.
I'm going to be sending this to is on 33rd Street Southeast in
Very
Auburn.
nice.
Is that a good mailing address?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm directly appointing the public defender to represent you as well. I'm going to be sending all of this information to that address.
That was a quick one, but we got it in.
All right. If you don't have any questions, that's going to conclude your hearing and you're free to go.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Andre's been like right here, like picking at his fingers and stuff right on camera. It's kind of weird.
And then, Your Honor, I think we have a couple other matters ready, but there's some.
I thought Bruce was there for court.
Bruce Bishop. I did too.
Unidentified phone number. Can the individual appear on 425?
It's a UFO or a UPO.
5165, press *6 and identify themselves.
Judge Lady Gaga
Why,
here
yes, that's
is
Ken Rambo.
definitely different.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rambo. Someone will meet with you momentarily.
Okay.
And then I think
I believe this is in
think
Linwood,
Mr. Ward
Washington.
has a matter ready in the courtroom, Your
I don't know that he's ready.
Honor. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's ready. All right.
The ones that you have ready.
I think we've been in this court
I
before. The
need
dude
to check
standing
in,
up
Mr.
reminds me.
Rambo, Miss Kapitnik checked in Mr. Williams. So when she returns, she'll probably have whoever she's speaking to right now ready. And I need to check Mr. Barker. So we might, I don't know, we need a short recess.
I think that's her
Mr.
hair.
Ward, is your matter ready?
I think it's her hair.
Your Honor, forgive me. I'll need to. I have to.
It's
run a
very
call
blonde.
back and check some things first.
Who is it, by the way?
Got blonde ambition.
Right is a gentleman in court here.
Look at
Andre
Andre.
looks like Knox after hard drugs and alcohol abuse of 20
That's
years.
what I was
Hold on,
thinking
Mr.
too.
Wright, I'm going to have you come on up. Sit down next to Mr. Ward. This is 1A0487.
Let's go. What up? Yeah, she's got great
Is Nicholas
hair.
Philip Wright your true
I like her
correct name?
hair.
Mr. Wright, is your date of birth January 16th, 1986? Yes. All right, good. Give me just a moment.
While we're taking a second for everybody to get it together, make sure you like this video. We appreciate that.
That was gonna be funny. I had an Anna or Elsa wig. I guess I
so
moved it.
close.
It looks
Mr. Wright
exactly
appears
like
to
it.
be
too.
eligible to relicense.
Yeah, that's
See?
correct, Your Honor.
T
So
was
I
on
don't
board.
think we
T
need
knows
to
what we're
offer
talking about.
The amendment, but Mr. Ward indicated that there's potentially some identity issues that led to the suspension. That
Why were you talking
I-
so lazily?
Yeah, Your Honor. It's my understanding after speaking with Mr. Wright that there's potential. Someone else may have given their Mr. Wright's name and who wasn't actually Mr. Wright. I think that needs to be investigated by an attorney before an offer is.
That's what I'm saying, T.
I would hope that the city's offer would remain on the table while that investigation gets underway. But I think he needs to speak with an attorney and look into what's going on here.
All righty.
Cody Reed.
And I'm not able to, I'm still having issues with O-Court not letting me log in.
You indicated that Mr. Rondrud would need to be appointed on this one.
Yeah, he would need Mr. Rondrud, it looks like.
So I'm filling out an order to honor standard conditions, license and insurance, no objection to release. Proposed date of May 17th at 1.
Thank you, Kiranoth. And no, but I
don't
did
know if
see
you're aware,
something
Mr.
pop
Ward,
up
but
about. I don't know anything about it actually.
The
to be honest with
report is
I'm
available in
behind.
JABS. It indicates that Mr. Wright was photo ID matched to his Department of Licensing photo online at the time of the incident, but I can assign him to an attorney.
Your Honor, I would request that he
It
meet
wasn't
with
me.
Mr. Rondrud and have an opportunity to discuss the case with an attorney before any sort of.
It was the wrong right.
Any sort of offer.
Okay. Mr. Wright, you've been charged by the city of Linwood with 1 count of driving while license suspended in the 3rd degree. It's alleged this was committed on May 27th of 2021. Mr. Ward, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. The probable cause finding will be maintained. I'll directly appoint Mr. Ronjarud to represent him.
Oh, I swear to God, it's been windy for like a month. T, $2 super sticker. Thank you. You guys are killing it
Mr.
for a
Reed, have you
Monday.
come back to court on May 17th at 1 o'clock? The conditions of your release will be that you come to court, come on time, have no new criminal law violations.
Never too early.
Certainly don't drive until you have a valid driver's license and proof of insurance. Keep your address updated with court and only use your true legal name and date of birth. Now, this 20th Place West address, is that a good mailing address for you? Okay.
I bet that some charges do get
sign that document,
joggled
and
around a
then,
little
Mr.
bit
Ward,
here
I'll
and
have you
there
come grab
once
that
in a
for
while.
Mr.
Oh,
Wright.
have to.
Names.
Have to.
We're talking about that one younger girl over at 3B, and she swore up and down she didn't have any charge. Well, come to find out, she was back like 10 days later, and he had a very long and big apology for her. But it happens.
It does happen because, especially with computers the way they are now, people with the same name, social security numbers get mixed up.
Very white.
Her hair is platinum blonde, and she has very pale skin, so I can see why she's under some very bright lights. If she was in there some natural light, it'd be completely different.
Oh, thank God you're not there. This past week is a
Ms.
nightmare.
Kapitnik, do you have any matters ready?
Rod run and snow and ice.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hopefully it'll be better
I
next
have
week.
one matter. I think Mr. Krebs and I are still working on getting some of the paperwork together. That's the Lindley matter. So if we can just have a brief moment.
Take your time.
We'll be
got
here.
all day. I want to see Andre. Oh, he's definitely had better days.
I'm here.
He's trying to keep
We know,
it
Mr.
together
Lindley, hold
too.
tight.
And then he kind of starts falling, and then it's
Okay, thank you.
He's on full Knox mode right now. That's Knox if he had never cleaned up.
Yeah. 12 years ago, if he didn't get sober, this would be him.
100. We joke a lot, but we're being 100% serious right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her hair does look blue, but it's because of the lighting. For sure.
Oh, I didn't care. That's great.
By the way, a lot of people already come through today. Please take a second, like this video. We're going to be doing 2 hours, and we do it every single Monday through Friday, 2 hours of live court. We've been on a pretty good streak as of late.
Yeah, we really have. Been lucky. Kieran, what's the deal with the one you were talking about, Johnny Depp? We can't watch it because that's too high profile.
Yeah.
But I seriously, though, I don't know anything about it. I did see something on the side or somebody was talking about it. Well,
Yeah,
like it's Chucky.
There's been a lot of crazy stuff about that case, from people pooping on people's beds and just you name it.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I
You name
remember we had a very small discussion about that a while ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was late today because I was working on my next live trip that I'm going to try and do in October.
Oh, that's fun. Maggie Valley's awesome. Such a cool little area. That all those old motels that are like the ones that you typically see on the side of like an old busy highway that's not so busy anymore, but they're all the nice, roadside motels, but perfectly kept up, beautiful, and that's a cool little area there.
Maggie's Valley's great.
What do you got? They're a little slow over here.
I got Judge
If
Simpson.
your support person all of a
All
sudden
right.
isn't there to get it down there or do whatever, then
That sounds good.
I'm
I
gonna
can
keep
do it
that
at
up
the
over
back.
there with hopes that we get to see what
Right. you could. There's a lot of ways you can do it, but this
Right.
gives you a little bit of leeway, gives you less pressure in terms of time of getting it done. Okay. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Corson, that does it. We'll see you on the 28th on the other matter. But for this one, just get that 75 in and you're all set.
He did just
Okay,
go
good.
away
Is that-
for about
is this-
5
is that-
minutes. You know, he wasn't on camera there for a few
No,
minutes.
you want to speak to you? You
Yeah, I
know what?
wasn't feeling
You
well.
got to get information to him. Ms. Kleeman, are you still in the meeting?
I am, yes. If we could be put in a breakout room, I can get some info from him.
Yeah, that
All day you wanted to ask me to put you into a breakout room. didn't you? You know, you started my docket today, going into chambers
Cedric's
on
in a great
virtual,
mood.
so you are just, you're pushing it, lady, okay?
Okay.
All right.
And Your Honor, that is my afternoon with this court. I'm due in Judge Conlon, so I will see you later.
All righty, take care, Ms. Lundy.
I
Okay,
saw him,
we will be
uh,
more than happy to put you into.
Scratch
you
some
already-
tickets.
There it goes.
I'm wondering, did he have a troll come through
He's
last night?
not.
'Cause I saw him saying
Is
some
he going to?
stuff.
Okay.
No, I know all about
I
that.
divided 600 by 8. His balance is actually 605. Do you want to waive $5? Because he's going to end up owing that $5 balance.
Wow, 54 licks.
He'll get it paid.
We're doing bad.
That is bad.
Might have to back this down to 2 days a week, 1 hour each. At that point. We can come right back to Ted. I just want to see.
Proceed with arraignment and review on the pretrial matters.
All right, then the bench warrants will be quashed. Mr. Lindley, under cause number 1A04188694.
Still dealing with the other
by the
person.
City of Linwood.
Uh,
One count of
and looks like Sed's going on break, huh?
Of course.
2021.
Let me get
On
out of here.
cause number 1A0702919, you've been charged by the city with one count of theft in the third degree. This is alleged it was committed on October 13th of 2021. On 2A0157264, Mr. Lindley, you've been charged by the city with one count of theft in the third degree, alleged to have been committed on
Oh, that's
January
cool.
29th of 2021.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, 2022. And then on 2A0175553, you've been charged by the city of Linwood with vehicle prowling in the second degree.
Vehicle
alleged to have
prowling.
been committed on
The
March 20th
prowler.
of 2022. Pleas of not guilty will enter. The probable cause findings will remain on
Not
the
at all.
quashed matters. I did review the vehicle prowling prior to taking the bench. I'll make a finding of probable cause for that as well. Ms. Kapitnik.
Andre, are you
Your Honor, I
okay?
have no objection to finding a probable
Andre.
cause. It's my understanding, I believe the warrant.
Well, hi, Bruce.
Bruce come busting up in here.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh.
He looks
Bruce is
woke
a-
as well.
He's a well-known
come
keyboard
from?
warrior.
All right. I will directly appoint Feldman and Lee. Mr. Krebs, what is the city's request?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to ask the court to consider setting bail in this new arraignment matter, as well as revoking release and setting
Looked
bail
like he
in
was. He's just
pretrial
reading.
matters. Mr. Lindley
He's tired
has
as
been
hell.
arraigned on those other thefts. He was ordered to have no new have no new law violation, not to contact the victim in stores, as well as not to possess or consume alcohol, marijuana, non-prescribed drugs, or paraphernalia. In this particular incident,
Supposed to
Mr.
do.
Lindley was caught prowling vehicles in the James Village parking lot. Upon arrest, it was confirmed that he had active warrants in Bothell. Bothell wanted him taken into custody.
Bothell, we were just over there at that court.
Subject to that
Yeah.
search incident.
2
arrest.
seconds.
He was found to be in possession of both heroin and methamphetamine, which is a violation of release condition. So both a new law violation. as
Gonna
well
go
as
big, go big, or go home.
controlled substances. I'm asking the court to set bail in those as well. Order surrender to the Linwood City Jail this
Yeah.
evening at 7 p.m.
We talked
as
about
well,
that.
to be held on bail.
And looked it up. It's an
Thank you, Your
intent
Honor.
to
I've asked that you allow Mr. Lindley
steal,
remain
right?
released on all matters. And speaking with him, he's not employed. He is currently on SSDI. If bail is set, he's not
the hell
going
is
to
that?
be able to bail out.
SSBI?
He's also currently homeless. I did check with him that the address that the court has on file is a good mailing address. He said he also receives mail.
Social Security,
through
disability
general
insurance,
delivery in
Mike.
Linwood as well. I did
Get rid
discuss
of it,
with him those outstanding warrants. He said he had missed the hearing because he was having issues connecting to Zoom. He does understand the importance of making sure he has a secure connection. We also went over. the
Doesn't
policy
understand the
about
importance of getting a
over Zoom.
job.
He will need to appear in person moving forward. So I just ask that you give him another chance.
I found a good one whenever you're ready.
All right. If we were just talking about a failure to appear, I think it would be a different story, but we're talking about continued criminal behavior. He is in violation of his pretrial release conditions. I find that by clear and convincing evidence after reviewing the officer's narrative from this newest case.
Yeah, which I think, Doug, is
So that's where it
basically the
was.
exact same thing. I could be completely wrong,
I
though.
believe so,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Was there an accident?
No, sir.
Hey, get out of my
Too much
lawn,
about
Nightbot. Yay, my favorite. Love this
Did
guy.
you take a
He's
blood
wearing a
alcohol
mask
test?
today.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Behind
Do
the
you know
glass.
what you scored?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Was it 0.15?
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken. I believe that's correct.
Mr. Theodoroff, are you stipulating to that?
0.15, that's pretty high.
And did this alcohol you consumed impair your ability to operate the vehicle safely?
BRB.
I don't believe it did. I waited, but I'm not an expert at judgment on that because I waited the allowed 2 hours or the required 2 hours in between each beer. I don't believe that I was impaired in any way or it obstructed my vision or ability to operate the car, but
He's not feeling well, huh?
Well, do you think speeding and crossing the center line before regaining control of the vehicle might be some indication that it might
Chief
not
Stephen O'Neill.
be, that might have impaired your ability to operate safely?
that could be, sir. I'm not exactly sure if I recall that correctly.
I spaced out the beers, Your Honor. I saw Law Talk with Mike did the TikTok people on his show yesterday. We were 2 days ahead. He's really doing some reading. A lot of people tell me that, Dub.
Okay, well, do you know what the legal limit is in Michigan?
0.08.
I believe it's, I'm not really sure. I can't quote it. 200.
08.
Oh, 08.
08.
Okay.
You were almost twice the legal limit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not good.
I mean, your lawyer stipulated 0.15. It's actually 0.155. But do you think being almost twice the legal limit might have impaired your ability to operate safely?
Maybe.
I would say it would for anyone. I think it would.
Okay, well, all right. What?
Not me, though,
Say
Your Honor.
the rest of that?
No, I said I think that it would.
Okay.
You had something else
Fair
you
enough.
wanted to say.
I find there's a factual basis to support the plea. It's knowing, voluntary, and active. Okay, so why are you in jail?
That's it. That's the only thing that's been brought
This
to my
term?
attention. Yes, sir.
Are you sure? You don't want to confess to something else right now while we got
Well,
you.
how long have you been in jail?
For 14 days since Monday, the 28th.
Why has he been in jail so long?
Okay, well, I've got to get a pre-sentence report and a alcohol screening from you. So I've got to set your sentencing date. What's that June date?
Judge, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah, I think they need 60 days.
I say, you need a pretrial and jury trial, right?
No, sentencing.
Oh, just sentencing. I'm sorry, the 13th of June.
June
That's how he
13th,
keeps it. Yeah.
2022,
By the way, if you're over on Facebook,
9 o'clock. Have you had any
Please.
drinking and driving offenses before?
give this a
No,
share
sir.
and a like. Going on his word. It wasn't me, Your Honor. Nate the Great. Good to see you, Nate. Holding down to Facebook.
Speaking of Facebook, thank you, Nate, our newest subscriber over on Facebook, too.
Right on. Thank you, Nate.
I saw that. pop
Appreciate
up.
the
Okay,
support.
Mr. Theodorov, but anything that, I'm
Love
surprised.
it.
Oh, you've got a hold. That's why you're in jail. You got a probation hold or a parole hold?
Roll.
Parole.
Oh,
I-
you mean
I
that,
spoke
Your
to,
Honor?
The field
How
agent, and
about
he
that?
said it would be up
Oh,
to
yeah.
the courts, and they would,
That's right.
whatever the court would agree to, they would go along with that.
So are you on parole in Genesee County?
Yes, sir.
I mean, was your case from Genesee County?
Originally, I come from Detroit and was transferred here to Genesee County.
Yeah.
All
Whoops.
right.
Forgot
Well,
about that
The hold is
important
still on.
part.
The hold is still on. So we will see
Peter
you
Bishop.
in June.
Yes, sir. But I'm
Okay,
certain that,
thank you.
yes, sir.
Huh?
No, I didn't understand
No, you
whether
ain't
or
got-
not the hold, in regards to the hold, if my parole officer is gonna release me on the hold, or if they're gonna wait until I was held here on the hold, until they completed everything here. My
I don't know.
understanding.
What do you want parole for? What charge? What kind of charge?
This instance right here, the same instance here.
Drunk driving.
No. What was your original crime, sir?
My crime was home
Yes, sir.
invasion,
Oh.
second degree. I paroled on that in June of 2020. I've been on
He-
parole for the last 2 years.
The judge is asking
Okay,
him
all right.
about all these other, if he's, been in any trouble. Oh, no, this is it.
No.
Well,
Clean slate, Your Honor.
This is my first offense on that, first violation. It's just a technical rule violation of consuming alcohol.
Well,
I think
He
it's
was
a little
driving.
more than that. You got busted for drunk driving. I think it's a little more than that.
Technicality, Your
Your
Honor.
The hold, not to demean or lessen the.
You picked
offense
up
or
a
nature of-
new charge. You picked up a new charge. And you just pled to it. Let me just ask that question before I even accept the plea. Mr. Theodorov, was there any discussion with him about that this might impact his parole?
I didn't discuss it with him, Your Honor, because I was in here. Ms. Weir talked to what's his name, Mr. Johnson.
Does everybody
did
yell in
not.
this
Okay,
courtroom?
I don't know if
Yes.
he was aware if he was on parole or not.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
you understand that if you plead guilty to this charge, it could
little bit of attitude.
impact your parole.
Yeah, should put him in
Yes,
prison.
sir. Most definitely. I'm aware of that.
He'll go to prison, right?
Did you and your lawyer have a discussion about that?
No, sir. No,
Nope.
sir.
Nope.
I spoke with my parole officer, I was saying about that.
Do you
He came up
still
to see
want
me
to plead
last-
guilty to this,
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
not.
I still do.
knowing that?
Yes, sir. It's still my desire.
You gonna go to jail, bud? Like prison, not just jail, prison.
Theodorov,
Yes, Judge.
should I let the plea stand?
In the
You understand? Do you understand what's going on here, Mr. Johnson, that
Yes, sir, I do.
you could be violating your parole, and that's up to your parole officer to decide?
Yes, sir. That's what I was trying to explain to Your Honor.
No, he knows the law,
Okay.
bud.
But I mean, I don't want there to be a situation where you get violated, then you say, well, gee, all I did was consume alcohol.
No, sir.
I
I
don't
would
think they'd
never
be
make-
violating your parole because you consumed alcohol. It's because you picked up a new charge.
That's a technical.
Yes, sir. I understand that. Yes, sir.
That's what he called it. No, I think he's trying to
I
say
may have misstated,
technicality.
in
You called it a
in,
technical.
response
That's
to
a
your
technical.
question. That may have been a misstatement. I'll retract that statement.
I mean,
Have
this
that
is a misdemeanor.
Stricken from the record, please.
Yes, sir. But it has serious impact as it goes. The goal is going forward with my parole officer also.
Michigan. agent of chaos.
Okay, well, just so long as all that, I mean, if you still want to enter the plea, I'll accept it.
Getting feisty.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
I have a matter
Very well. We'll
in
see.
which I'm currently, if I may, sir, I'm currently employed at KFC, and my supervisor has been asking about my return to employment and return to work. I was hoping to return to work to maintain my employment, my job.
I'm the only one that knows how to make the
Trying to keep
coleslaw.
my job.
I don't think you need to worry about that now at the moment.
So how am I going to be able to fix that if we've got a parole hold?
Well, my parole officer said whatever the courts decided, they would go along with that in regards to that matter there. That's what I was trying to say in regards to going forward and my release and return to work.
Okay, well, I can set a bond.
I was gonna say,
but
you've been working
as
in
long as the
prison, I
parole
believe.
hold is still there. The bond isn't going to make any difference. So,
Oh, they said if you let me out right now,
is that what you want me to do, Mr. Titterell?
What's that, Judge, again? I'm sorry.
I have a
You want me
feeling
to
he
set a bond for this
seriously doesn't
gentleman?
understand this.
Yes,
Yeah.
if he could, because if he could post the bond and he can get out and go to work, and I'd like to just soon when these clients of ours have jobs.
this isn't the end of his problems. Judge now is just sign it so you get him the hell out of here.
And
go
it's
ahead and
not
post bond.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
up
set a
to
1,000 cash.
Judge Herman.
Okay.
This is a misdemeanor
Yes,
is getting
sir.
booked on, but it's the parole
No
violation.
alcohol, marijuana, or illegal or controlled substance. You gotta have substance abuse testing and monitoring.
I'm pretty sure all that was part of his
Um,
home invasion probation.
Second degree, by the way.
No firearms, dangerous weapons, or ammunition.
Yes, sir.
Stupidity
Um,
evaluation, maybe.
Continue to seek employment. Comply with restrictions
I love this
on
judge.
personal association, place of residence, and place of employment or travel. Set by the Michigan Department of Corrections.
Good.
Thank you.
And no, do not drive without a valid license.
Why do you think they never had a thing where they put out just like fried skin? You know what I'm saying? Like a bucket of skin.
Oh, I told you when I worked there, you'd have the tray that you would set them on after they come out of the big round fryer thing, and you would set off the extra crispy. And there was
and alcohol tether,
like a thing above it, a tray where all the crispies would fall underneath it. And man, I mean, you could just almost like a Long John Silver's Captain D's type thing, with
All
the little
right.
crispy things. Yeah. Oh, it was great. So good.
Start a restaurant where we
See you on
serve
June
skin of
13th.
animals.
Yes, sir.
Pork rinds.
In
Thank
person.
you. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
We will come back to him because he is absolutely amazing. I want to go over to the auxiliary court. This is in Texas.
The court reporter is happy as hell to be there.
Yeah, they were all just laughing about something, but is his volume off?
Somebody's going to yell at him in a minute. Judge, we can't hear you. Because look, it's on. It's
Yeah.
picking up the court reporter. It ain't picking up the judge at all.
Can hear you, Judge.
Still talk.
Judge.
Judge.
We can't hear you. Even in the
Look at Molly's. Hey, Judge. This is a great moment. I love it.
What was it? Judge Middleton would say, or Judge Cedric. How long have we been doing this now?
Yeah.
Judge Kim is
Right.
very good at. How long have we been doing this now?
Yeah.
And people still ain't got this right.
Oh, they need to sell. I agree. like Long John Silver's and Captain D's when you get in the bottom of the tray when they put them in there, and they're not nearly as good as like the ones you would get from a KFC.
No. Judge is having the hardest time.
No, I love this. This is great.
He's covering up his mouth and he's like, Molly, what the hell's going on here? Somebody please help me get this microphone on.
Can you hear me?
We got
Yeah, you did it, Judge.
you. Technology.
Let's see.
Properly placed large clock in the background there. Like it?
Your last petition to adjudicate 199-823-84-2020, and you've got a new case in cause number 001-86962-2021, in which you've been charged with giving a false drug test. And I understand you want to plead true to all the allegations in the petition to adjudicate.
How do you do it? Bring in one of the fake wieners or what?
Is that correct?
Bottle of piss or something.
Yes, Your Honor. All right, before I go forward with your pleas, what I'm going to do is explain to you what your constitutional rights are.
It's always good when you walk into one of those gas stations that have the scrubby things, the copper scrubbers. Then you've got these tiny little packs that have, little like fruits on them and different things. And then next to that is the fake piss.
Is that agreed? Yes, sir.
Then boner pills, of course.
Of course. That you have a right to remain silent. You want to either give up that constitutional right to remain silent and go forward with this plea.
They never caught him, but it came back. He was pregnant.
Did you say yes, sir?
That's what Captain Happy says. By the way, is court reporter a gummer? I think she is.
Giovanni, what he's asking is, you have the right to have a hearing on the 4 petitions to adjudicate in front of Judge Tucker. Okay. You would also have the right to have a jury trial.
Molly, if you look just right, does she have little pops? Is that what those are down there in the corner? Does she have a collection of pops?
Yeah, she has soda pops.
Used against you. However,
The ones
what
that
he's
come in the
asking
soda
is,
can.
you want to waive your right
Yeah.
to remain
Smaller.
silent in order to plead true to the remaining allegations in the state's 4 petitions and to plead guilty to the state's new misdemeanor offense. So, as Judge was saying, you want to waive your right to remain silent and your right to have those hearings in order to go forward with these pleas.
Yes, Your Honor. Would you raise your right hand? Thank you, Mr. Spencer.
Yes, sir, Judge.
Would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this case to be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I hope he pleads so he can admit how he did it.
You can put your hand down. On your new case, you have a constitutional
Or are we sharing our
right
pops?
to a trial by jury.
Kenny Powers.
You want a jury trial in that case? No, Your Honor. On all 5 of your cases, you have a constitutional right to confront the witnesses,
Since we're sharing.
meaning you have a right to ask questions of any witness in those cases. Do you want to waive or give up your right to confront and question those witnesses? No, Your Honor. There won't be any witnesses here today for you to confront because you're going to plead true and plead guilty to these charges. So when you say that you don't want to waive that right, that means that you want to have a hearing on these matters and be able to question.
Hello there, stranger.
Welcome back.
Stacker Necker.
You also have a constitutional privilege against self-incrimination.
Yeah, that was a total
Means
nerd
that
moment
no one
there,
can
wasn't it?
force you to do or say anything that might incriminate you. Incriminate means something that tends to show your guilt. Or
No, it did
tends to show
not.
that these allegations are true. You want to waive or give up your constitutional privilege against self-incrimination? Yes, Your Honor.
I hope we don't get through all this and we're not going to talk about how he
Faked
faked his poo.
That these allegations are true and that you are guilty. Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, he has to admit to what
And
he
that
did.
the range of punishment on the false drug test is up to 180 days in the county jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Yes, Your Honor. Have you ever had your mental competency questioned in any way? No, Your Honor. Have you ever been declared incompetent by any court? No, Your Honor.
Just by my mom, she said, "Have you lost your mind, son?"
Yes,
Yeah.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this proceeding will result in you being deported, being denied naturalization, or being denied right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Denied.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, that this proceeding.
Why is he laughing?
Result in you being denied entry. in the
He
United
laughs at
States.
that part every time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had it? And finally, you understand you'll be giving up your right to appeal if you go forward with this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had a chance to review each of the?
Sixth grade
petitions to
picture, by the way.
adjudicate and the information in this case?
Love it.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are the same person named in those charging documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me see.
What's that?
Let me ask you then how you wish to plead to paragraphs 1, 3, 4, and 5.
He did flush it.
Guilty.
Wait a minute.
Not a bad Monday docket so far, Mayor.
So far, so good.
Let me ask you, on 2 of these, is he playing to 1, 4, and 5? Is that it?
That's right, Judge. In all 4 petitions, paragraphs 1, 4, and 5, the state's waiving 2 and 3, which have to do with an extraneous offense alleged to have been committed out of Florida.
Okay,
Of course.
It looked like it's been marked out, and I couldn't tell if you were changing the number or not.
Hey, doesn't Wes's voice almost sound like the dude that sits inside the court there at the other one, you know?
Each paragraph.
Yeah.
The other one's a little
in each one of those petitions. You plead
little more
to or not
nasally, a little softer, but very close.
True.
And to the new charge of giving a false drug test, how do you plead to that? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading true and pleading guilty because these allegations are true and you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you to do this, scared you into it, or promised you anything for pleading this way?
No, Your Honor.
We'll find that your plea is freely and voluntarily made. That you're mentally competent to enter the plea. Does the state have evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would offer State's Exhibit 1, the plea agreement, stipulation of evidence, and trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal for all cases.
Objection, Judge.
Admitted in each case.
The state rests.
Rest and close, Judge.
Based upon the evidence presented, I will find that the evidence is sufficient to establish that you violated the terms and conditions of your probation as set forth in paragraphs 1, 4, and 5.
Michael Vick,
of
wasn't that
each
his
of the
name?
Petitions.
Uh-huh.
Will also find that the evidence is sufficient to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. As to the given a false drug test, and I will find you guilty of that charge.
Let's talk about
Mr.
it.
Maxley, you have plea agreements in each one of these cases.
Judge is having a hard
numbers
time.
823
Hello, live news now.
82383 and 82382.
Mikey Hack? No.
Back up. Let me start over again. Sorry.
Maybe not.
82385 and 82383.
Either way,
You
welcome.
have agreed to continue
Tell you
on
about 3 seconds.
supervision with some amended conditions. Cause numbers 82382 and 82384. You've agreed to extend your deferred supervision for a period of 2 years with some modified terms and conditions. And on your new charge, you have agreed to 1 year in the county jail, $200 fine. I'm sorry, 1 year deferred and a $200 fine and some other terms set forth in your plea agreement. Is that your understanding of your plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me back up a minute. I will not find you guilty in that charge. I will accept your plea agreements in each case. I'll defer a finding of guilt on the drug test case, place you on 1 year deferred, a $200 fine, and the other terms and conditions set forth in your plea agreements. On your
I've been celebrating since the minute I woke up today, Jordan.
With a tear in my eye. Always go with your first instincts, Creed.
And
Yeah.
82384.
Well, I'm looking at
Yeah,
episode of Voyeur Voyage on there. So.
Years. 2 years along with the modified terms. and conditions. You have any questions about anything?
No, Your Honor.
Mikey Hack, welcome back, buddy.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Just know I may rage again and just block you again. I tend to do that sometimes. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
This guy got. He's
What did
got
you just
so
cut
many-
that?
Yeah, he's got so
I
many
mean,
channels.
what do you think is reasonable? Just tell me.
Oh shit, he's coming in hot.
It was adjourned today to answer those questions. I did the best I could to answer those questions for you, Your Honor. I can tell you.
That's okay. No, if you want to punt on the question, that's good. That's cool.
Wow. I'm trying to answer your question. I just, it's a little vague. I don't understand what you're getting at. If I only could understand what you're getting at, I'd be happy to answer it. I don't blow smoke. I don't punt. If I understand your question, I answer it, Your Honor.
How many times do you think that you should be able to try to come up with a good address?
I did.
I mean,
Michael there just got taken
Understanding
back too
that
by that.
you've had 10 years to come up with a good address.
I don't know that it lends itself to a hard and fast number, but I think certainly someone should have several tries throughout the process. I mean, there's a way to,
20
amend
20 times?
captions and amend
20 tries?
addresses.
Oh, I hope so
Is
someday.
20 tries enough? Or is that too many?
I can't see a scenario where it would be necessary to have 20 tries.
It's a Weather Channel with Voyeur Voyage on it.
With your top,
I think not more than 10.
grabbing episode is an episode of Voyeur Voyage I just looked at with 24 views.
Okay.
Take it down.
All right. Well, I'm.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
Mike.
Well,
I will do that for you.
I guess I've made my decision then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So
Have a
thank
nice
you.
day.
Thank you. Thank you for your investigation.
He's just trying to get the hell out of there.
He's like, I gotta wait for this nut.
All right.
Judge beat his
Let's go
ass.
to the Reed case.
Wow. Just beating
Is he
him
in
over
jail?
the head.
That's one of the ones you said you were gonna call so that Mr. Theodorov could waive their appearance, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Theodorov. you wanna
Even
waive
this woman was just like
I'll
giving
waive
him
his appearance.
attitude. Did you
This
hear
is
that?
people of
Yeah.
the state of Michigan versus Frank Jerome Reed, case
I need to
number
stay out of Michigan.
21G00731SM. The charge is domestic
Mikey Hack, we know you.
violence, second offense.
You're a
The
man.
client's
I
in jail.
take you
You're
by your
waiving his
word.
appearance.
I am, Your Honor, Ms. Weir interviewed him. He wants the
He's
matter
gonna
left
check
on
it.
for trial. I think it was originally scheduled.
Man of
Was.
your word.
So let's try to, what's the next date that we can give him?
May 12th.
All right.
I think Judge Herman got
Oh,
sick, and
I'm
that's why
sorry.
he
We
wearing the
can do them
mask.
next week on the 21st.
They don't have time to send out a subpoena that.
Okay.
I just, everybody's got attitude. Like,
We'll adjourn it for jury trial to.
Yeah, this whole
May.
courtroom is like, oof.
May
He's throwing down
12th.
pins, grabbing other ones. Uh-oh.
Ah, here comes Nathan.
2022
Here comes Nathan.
9
Oh,
a.m.
Nathan said, whoop, we're in the courtroom.
In person.
The hell out of here.
Anything else to be heard on this matter?
Nothing, thank you, Judge.
Judge, don't play.
All right.
is that a can koozie that he has right next to that big drink? Look at all of his
Drinking
keys.
inside of his koozie. He's got a lot of stuff on that desk.
I just love that he just grabs his phone in the middle of in the middle of talking to somebody and just looks through it.
Kind of situation, Judge.
All right, I'm gonna call people of the city of Flint versus Christopher Sean Spearman.
Christopher, what did
Case number
you?
21G01220M.
Just another moody Monday.
This is a
Hello,
charge of
Carol.
battery. So
Carol?
my understanding is he was, go ahead, Mr. Theodorov.
Ms. Weir interviewed Mr. Spearman. He does not wish to bail himself of any offer. He'd like another session.
Are you waiving his appearance?
I'm waiving his appearance.
It looks like he might have been picked up on a bench warrant, perhaps.
I have no idea.
Who is this? Ulysses?
I have no idea. He
Got
just said,
picked up?
Well,
I don't know what he's done, Your
it
Honor.
was his last court date that he was supposed to be here was December 2nd, 2021. It was supposed to be a jury trial. But I issued a bench warrant because apparently he didn't show. So if he was arrested over the weekend, I will go ahead and set it for a jury trial. Let me see here.
May the 12th.
Set for
May.
jury trial, May 12th, 2022
Meeting
at
is May.
9 a.m. in person. And
Oh, this judge is just.
He's tops.
I can just
Really?
watch him all day, just sit there at his desk.
And he's wearing
Bond,
something around his neck today that I don't know. When he leans back, it looks like a magic 8-ball.
$2,500
I don't know what it
bond will
is.
continue.
Yeah, this dude's amazing.
Cash is surety.
Jay, good point.
I'm so ashamed he's my son.
Tell you what, we'll
Soft
wait
ass.
until Christopher gets here. We'll bounce back over to her. I just wanted to show you defense attorney Joey Ward,
Defender, you do need to.
Meg's brother,
screen,
obviously.
Or you need to hire private counsel and have that person with you at all future.
Best
hearings.
hair. Raymond Ramos.
Okay. May 17th at 10 a.m. is your next court date. Come to court. Come on time, Mr. Ramos. No new criminal
Razor.
law violations. Don't drive without a valid.
Loud,
driver's
I can see one of those bigger boats that has like the tire on the back of the trunk. You know what I mean? Like the outline of the tire.
license.
Yeah.
That
With like
164th
wire
Street
spoked
Southwest
rims.
Address, is that the best mailing address for you?
That is.
Okay. That's where I'm going to be sending a copy of this. Call the court if you have any questions.
Say hello
Your Honor.
to the
Thank
bad
you.
guy.
And
Oh,
then
that'd
Ms.
be funny.
Kapitnik, is your matter ready?
Yes,
Raymond
Your Honor, we are ready
Razor
on the
Ramos.
Williams matter. Mr. Williams, can you let us know that you can hear us?
I can hear you.
But I can't.
Mr. Williams
see
have the
you.
ability to turn his video on?
Is that what it's called? The Continental Kit? That's
It
great.
should be on. If not, my camera's cracked. So if you can't see me, then
Oh, are
Oh,
we?
he's also
Little
dating
blasted.
someone over in another country, I bet.
So you catfishing me in court, dude?
I know you can't see
Give
me.
me your
but
full legal name, sir.
Jonathan Lee Arnold Williams.
How high is this
What's your
dude?
date of birth?
It was like
8/12/96.
Okay.
Arnold
Ms.
III.
Kapitnik, did you have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Williams about his rights, the
Really?
maximum penalties for the offense?
Minister.
We did, Your Honor. I read him the rights form out loud. We went over the charge
Yeah.
with regards to arraignment. He'd like to enter a plea of not guilty today.
We could all see his car in our head right now.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here before the court because you've been charged with assault in the 4th-degree domestic violence. It is alleged that this occurred.
How
on
fast does this person
February
hit like
15th
this?
Of 2022. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Probable cause was previously found. Any objection to maintaining that finding, Ms. Kapitnik?
No argument for today, Your Honor.
Probable cause finding is maintained. Mr. Krebs?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, no objection to release for Mr. Williams. I would ask the court to consider issuing a 1099 no contact order protecting the listed victim in this particular case. And as part of that, that would be Tabitha Sams. And as part of the no contact order, ask the court to make the independent finding that possession of or access to firearms or other dangerous weapons poses a threat to safety and the alleged victim, and prohibit access or possession of firearms while this case is pending. I think with the no contact order and those strict conditions, no objection to the continued release.
I feel like Bruce is watching female bodybuilding. What do you mean I can't come see you tonight?
All right. I think we should go back to just him sitting at his desk, not even doing anything is more fun than them right now.
I was
All right,
waiting.
I'm gonna adjourn it to Are we here May 9th?
I have two possibilities
I'll adjourn to
that I
May
found
9th,
as far as
2022
vehicles that he drives.
At 9.
The first one I'm going to show you is the one that I really wish.
Oh
that he
God,
drove.
yes.
Like I could totally see him rolling up in that. But I think that this one's more fitting there.
Yeah, that's
A little more
far
fitting.
more classy.
Maybe not that color necessarily,
Oh, I like
but
that color.
I could totally see either one of those. The pink would be.
The white top is the way to go for sure.
Yeah, I think that's probably closest to it.
And inside is probably immaculate.
Oh,
like just
yeah, the day it
perfect.
rolled off of the
Okay, can we go back to the Jacoiac case?
Plush as hell.
Do we need Mr. Theodore for that?
There's one other potential style.
Well, I think we did. Isn't that why we passed it? You're just missing the misdemeanors, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So we got the
Uh-oh.
civil infraction.
Hello,
and we
Heather's
got the
here.
Small claims.
There's
So,
this one also. But I think that's more of his Sunday driver. You know what I mean? Just
there's something in here.
Mhm. That's a classic.
yeah.
Heather, you tore up any sidewalks lately?
Grill marks out here. I'll be RB.
Carol, did you send stars? I saw something.
How many remember this one?
Hallelujah.
This is the small claim judge. Will not be contested.
Oh, he's a good dude.
This
Early
isn't the one
night.
where there was a threat about the violence, was there? Okay.
Champagne. Be nice, Carol. Stay nice. Ooh, an El
All right, so,
Dorado.
Mr. Balzer, you're dismissing assault and battery.
Yes, sir.
So you've talked to the victim in this?
Tom Sparrow has spoke to the victim, received some emails in relation to the stipulation for the agreement to adjourn.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't spoken on the phone with her directly, but when the city attorney's office entered into the agreement. with
50
him
big ones.
at that
Appreciate
time,
50 stars. If you're over on Facebook, stars are your implement of letting us know.
Well,
Appreciate it.
somebody wrote on here substantial compliance with the plea agreement, so I don't know where we're at.
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
Apparently, Mr. Sparrow says there's been substantial compliance with the plea agreement.
Yes, Your Honor, as far as I understand, it's in relation to the plea, or, well, no, the substantial compliance in relation to the stipulation to the agreement to adjourn.
Okay.
Anytime that there was any type of discrepancy or anything that had been mentioned on either
Thank you,
part of
Joseph.
either party side in relation to the stipulation, the information was received by our office and we sent
In and out.
to the MATC, where it was originally, I believe attorney Paul Scott was the attorney that represented MIBC when the agreement was created. Any complaint that was brought was fielded by him for their office. Any determination if they felt that there was a violation, anything that rose to a violation, was their responsibility to
Heather can't say she wants to be here or
the
not.
agreement itself. Then there would be, believe, understanding was that there would be a show cause hearing as to why either party to the agreement shouldn't be held in contempt by this court.
She's still there.
For the offer, though, there's any complaint that was received.
Yes, thank you.
advised to,
Mayor McNome,
I believe the MIBC
remind us we need the
indicated that
likes.
it was
Thank you.
necessary to bring a show cause hearing. Your Honor. For that reason, the
Wait, let me see if I got this straight. you asked the public defender's office to evaluate whether or not if the victim was saying they think there's a violation of the agreement, you asked the public defender to evaluate whether or not they think there is? Is that what I think I hear you saying? That can't be what I think I'm hearing you say.
I'd have to read the agreement, but I've read this before, but it's been months.
Okay, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I tell you what, I'm gonna pass on the criminal matter. Because I think I wanna, if what I think I heard you to say is, if I heard it right, it's not making a lot of sense to me. So let's deal with the civil
This
infraction.
judge is pissed off now.
And I'll deal with the small claims matter.
He was really going at that guy. I almost want to rewind and see what
So
was
I'm calling case
happening with Baldwin.
21G01578ON. This is a municipal civil infraction.
My turn.
Do your thing. Guys, we'll watch this one. Then we're going to jump over to something that just happened. Rewind a little bit. Over at 3B with Judge Middleton with a landlord-tenant.
All right.
matters. We'll do that in a minute.
So we were here on February the 7th. And my understanding was you were going to have a survey done.
Oh, Carol, thank you for the stats.
What's the allegation in the civil infraction?
Your Honor, the civil infraction is.
Oh,
the
we will
city
absolutely look at that, Jordan.
A violation of our ordinance requiring the homeowner to show that there has been a survey done on the property in relation to a fence that was recently installed.
So you're saying a fence was put up and they didn't do a survey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have to go and get a permit to put up a fence?
Yes, you do, Your Honor.
Oh, God, another
You have to
fence
show a
picture.
survey?
If it's part of the agreement, which in this instance, there is a necessary requirement that the fence doesn't cross property line, which would require that you have a survey to know where the property line is, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So did you go get your survey?
Your Honor, I'm still in the process. I've had 4 different companies there.
I speak up, man.
I've had different companies, like when I first came in, Meridian was supposed to do it, and now they couldn't get it done by the deadline, which I said was the 9th, so I haven't done it today. Then I had another company, their family member got sick.
Hang on just a second. Hang on 1 second. There's just too much talking going on in the back there. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
So in other words,
Shut up. Okay, February 7th, March 7th, April 7th has come and gone. So we are at 2 months. So why in 60 days have you not been able to do a survey? 60 days.
Well, that's why I brought all my corresponding emails and phone calls. I've already spoken with Mr. Balser, showing that I've had people, I'm not a survey, I only can hire a company to do surveys. I've contacted like 17 companies.
17.
Yes. And I've asked even in the attorney office across the way, nobody knows, like, for surveys, I mean, I looked online, I've done all these surveys, supposedly Delta is supposed to be doing it again. The survey, like I said, this was all not even said to be required.
it's a great website.
I put this fence up in April. I went and got the permit. I got
Free
the-
scholarships.
From the zoning, and then the neighbor complained, the renter next door complained. She kept calling and complaining, saying this little piece that's connected to my back kind of.
Wow.
So in the process, I just spoke to zoning again. They said if I did a new.
Can we nominate Mikey?
A new zoning application. That they received, that would be approved with because I first with a straight line, and then it was slanted because of the way it had to connect, so I had to do a new one. So in the meantime, I have been talking back and forth with the building inspector, and at that time in June,
Wow.
I was,
Nice find, by the way.
June 21st, he had said zoning approved it, that he was fine with it, and then the neighbor did another complaint. And so then all of a sudden it came with, I'm requiring a survey, period. So that's why I said all this has just been back and forth because of, the issues I'm having with neighbors, first of all. Because now everybody said, well, I don't.
You can hear talking in the back. I see what he's saying.
I've never been able to speak with the landlord. Where this issue is. And then the city's saying, the only thing is that do not cross the line, but they don't know where the line is either. So I understand, okay, we're at the point to get the survey, which I've been doing my due diligence to do, which is why I brought in all the email correspondence saying, for these different companies. Saying,
All right, I'll tell you what. While she's mumbling, yeah, obviously.
So wait a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, let's see.
Why would a company who's going to get paid cash money not want to do it?
That's exactly what I said. I mean, even Mr. Balser listened to the voicemail from the last company from 2 weeks ago that came out, and all of a sudden changed.
All right, well, they're doing that. Let's jump over to this. Moto G7, we're trying to get her on. While I was out there, they were talking, she was talking some crap to the landlord.
She acts totally oblivious to what we're doing here. She doesn't appear to be able to.
They've been trying to get her connected for a little bit already. Turn audio on. Anyways, there's a point where she's talking about bed bugs and how trashy her place is, apparently. My favorite is when he gets up off the bench, walks all the way around to the other camera, and just holds it right there. Gotta give him credit. He's very patient. At least they've got her name changed. Start. Hey, been flipping goods? How are you, buddy? Order in the court, I said. Make her come back in. All right, well, they sort that out.
The fence that was built, the two zoning approvals both came with the writer's statement saying that they are approved so long as the fence doesn't cross over the property line. It's just a natural assumption that the only way that you can know a property line is by having a survey. It's not
Still talking about the fence.
responsibility to pay for the survey. It's the property owners. We also have the authority to request proof that the survey was done so that we can.
Very good. No complaints, but no complaints. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, they got it.
Changed ear headphones.
All right,
I
so
couldn't
can you
hear
hear me
them.
now?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. We were frustrated. I removed you from the feed. Hopefully
Sorry
we'll
about that.
Start over again. We've been spinning our wheels for a bit. All right, let me call this case. This is 22-153LT. It's entitled Sturgis Housing Commission versus Judy Winiger.
Somebody getting
This
kicked
was
out.
filed as a demand for non-payment of rent. We determined last time on March 11th that rent, I think through March, was $1,786.77. Per cost. Defendant indicated she was homeless. She was sleeping in her car because she had bed bugs. And apartment said there were no bed bugs since September. Anyway, we continued the matter for 30 days because it was a demand for non-payment of rent. Amy Lucas is here from Keystone Place. Tiffany Edwards is here as an attorney on behalf of Maple Towers.
Amy, the free money lady.
And which is Sturgis Housing Commission, and their maintenance superintendent, Timothy Hill, is here. I received today some reports and photographs
regarding the inspections at your premises. There are two things going on. One, this is a demand for non-payment of rent. They're
Please
saying
share
you
them,
haven't been
Judge
paying
Middleton.
rent. You're saying you haven't paid the rent because of bed bugs. So there is a way to do it properly.
Yep. Riding it out to the
Pay the rent
last
into
second.
escrow. But Keystone indicated that you've been spending a number of nights at a motel, and they can't pay for the nights you stayed at a motel. So this is a lot to unpack here. Ms. Edwards, what's our current status?
The current status on rents is,
I gotta turn the record back on. This is file 221.
Oh, whoops.
3 LT.
Judy looks happy to be there.
Well,
All right.
he tried for about 20 minutes to get her on and connected. Then he kicked her and she came back in and was able to.
currently with respect to rents, the tenant made a partial payment, so the current rents amount that you've cited has only increased by $10 since March 11th.
Lots of bed bug talk coming
The
up.
other
Parker.
utilities and fees are identical.
All right, so the current amount is 179677.
This just happened
Yes,
about
that's correct.
10 minutes ago.
Excellent.
Regarding the
back it up
pest
a little bit.
inspections, since the last hearing, there have been 2 inspections. I believe those reports were sent over earlier today for your review. In short, there have
Well,
been.
let's get those properly into evidence.
Oh,
Mr.
no,
Hill,
that's
would
it.
you raise your right hand? You swear, affirm any testimony you're about to give.
So she was trying to get, apparently,
to the best of your
if I
knowledge.
understand that correct, she was trying to get them to pay for her stay in a motel also.
I'm the executive director.
When she hasn't been paying rent all along.
What can you tell us about these inspections?
We've had several inspections. The recent one was April 7th.
It'll be interesting to
And according to the documents from Rose.
see how she plays that one
Solutions, they didn't find any bed bugs in the
Ugh.
apartment. They did some spraying. I
You're
think
saying on April 7th, they did not find bed bugs?
according to their documents here, it says
That was
I
30
could read it
days
if you
after
like.
Mikey's birthday.
Okay. The fourth floor apartment number 419 comment. First follow up for bed bugs. I knocked several times and got no answer. Then I entered. No one was home at the time. I noticed the green bag.
Looks like she's in a nice
I'm
place
sorry,
right
green
now.
beanbag chair that was here during the initial treatment was not here, and that the air mattress is stacked up in the bedroom.
Those weren't-
I also noticed that the bed bug spray can is still on the counter.
Those
There was
weren't
a
bean
heating
bags.
pad and a black garbage bag on the box springs, which I did remove and put in the closet. I flipped up the box spring and did a thorough inspection along the perimeter of the unit. Both the box springs and air mattress in the bedroom and the exercise bike and lawn chair in the living room. I did not find or notice any bed bug activity or evidence on these items or anywhere in this unit. I did do a crack and crevice treatment along the trim of the baseboard around the entire unit as well.
Time for a crack and
Resolve
crevice treatment. Bend over.
cracks and crevices and seams on the exercise bike, lawn chair, and box springs and air mattress.
Barely used.
We will return in
exercising
2 weeks to do another inspection, and that will be the final one. I laid the bed of the box springs back down, as well as put the exercise bike and the lawn chair back to where it was. I did leave the air mattress stacked up, as that is how it was when I arrived.
I
made
don't know.
sure
This
to
just
lock the
happened.
door
So
when-
it's about 10 minutes ago.
so
All right. What is the significance of the photographs?
Uh-oh.
And can we please see them?
Your Honor.
Nah,
Go ahead, Judy.
nah.
I believe the photographs are, I don't have them on me. Tiffany?
I
She
believe
takes
the
them everywhere she
photographs
goes.
were incidental to the September 2021 inspection. I don't believe those are the most recent photographs. They were just part of the
Well, it was showing
report.
The outside of the building and the cement, and I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be looking for. they don't appear to be particularly relevant.
I would agree.
All right. Not relevant.
So in places she's renting, is she living on an airbed? I gather.
Yeah, and like the real bed's like up on the wall, leaned against the
Yeah.
wall.
Rose Pest Solutions.
Don't you have to use like heat or something to get rid of?
Yeah.
bugs?
An old friend of mine
All right, Miss Winiger, what do you want to tell me?
that worked at Aaron's
They
got naked
found bed
before
bugs
walking
on
into
my
her house every day.
couch, And I paid them
Like,
to take my couch out.
that's how bad it is.
I've been ate up by
Ate up.
It's been a year since I first had the first one of them crawl up on me by the bed on the bed. And I'm emotionally scarred from it, and I'm physically scarred from it. And he's lying, and I'm sick of this crap. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my notice in today. I'm moving. I've got scars. I've got pictures. I've got. What about the bed bugs at Sharon Dolan when she was helping me pack? When she raised the bed up and she kept grabbing them and putting them in a bag and took them to the office. He's lying.
He's a liar.
Bag him up.
Do you know where you're gonna move to?
Good to see you, bud.
Away from here, that's for sure.
The bed bug
Well,
in.
I've been homeless all winter, and this isn't even funny. Tim doesn't like me, and I don't like him.
He's just mad that I wouldn't sleep with him.
Yes.
All right, I'm just gonna do a judgment. Tiffany, I don't.
Sorry.
No,
I've got all kinds of pictures I can send you. I can show you right now, right there on my leg.
All right, well,
Oh, she's showing us. Look. Oh.
If we get into a,
Yo.
if we get into a money damage situation.
Well, I don't like bugs, and I've been
You don't?
terrorized by it. He hasn't. It's been a year.
She sent me some pictures too.
And I'm sprayed.
One punch,
There's
one
no
kick.
excuse for a $1,200 mattress. And I've got a broke back in 4 places. I should be home.
A broke
in
back
my
at
bed,
4.
Not trying to find a place to lay my head. I'm 60 years old, you know, and
I'd have guessed 80.
and I never thought this could ever happen to me on the other end of it.
60. She looks great.
All right, this is filed as a demand for non-payment of rent, and I'm gonna treat it as such. The rent is $230 per month. Through April, the arrears is $1,796.77.
230.
I paid the rent the last 2 months,
All right.
but I
Well,
haven't
I would-
stayed here.
Ghost.
I don't disagree with you. I'm not ordering you to pay this
Good to
money.
see
I'm
you.
ordering you to pay the money if you wish to stay there. You don't wish to stay there.
Well,
She has a
yeah,
broke
don't
back in
quit
4
bringing
places.
cops to
James.
my door
Oh, no.
just because my son comes over or something, you know,
Is he there
and
with you
harassing
now?
me. I'm sick of him harassing me and my kid.
All right.
Tim's harassing you or the bugs?
Filing fee and the service fee is $106.79 plus 75 is $181.79 plus 179.
Wherever she moves, yeah, be ready for bed bugs.
No kidding.
They're coming.
Yeah.
$1,978.56. That's how much your rent is due through April. I would not recommend that you pay it. You want to move. So I would encourage you to
I already
move within
paid
the
it.
next 10 days.
I
Well, you
already paid it.
some,
Yeah, because she's doing great on the Zoom call.
some other arrears
Gee.
that you
Yeah.
shouldn't have to pay because you weren't there. But I'm not gonna sort that out. You're gonna move. by
Well,
April 21st.
I'll stay here if he'll quit harassing me and stuff. And they make sure the bed bugs are out here. And he knows that Sharon brought bed bugs in a bag down there. She was grabbing them and stuff. I was like, Sharon, you don't have to get every one of them. So he's lying. He knows Sharon Dolan brought bed bugs to his
That's
job.
inaccurate. That's absolutely not.
Well, who is Sharon Dowling?
The woman that was helping me pack.
All right.
I can only go off of what
All right,
roads.
stop, Mr. Hill.
Okay.
We're not sitting
Yes.
around the kitchen table. We are in a courtroom. And even though
Sure.
you don't like things you hear, you can't just blurt things out. You had your hand up. I would have. All right.
It's
Ms.
kind of rude. I
Winter,
guess he
this
doesn't
is a
like Tim very
difficult
much.
case, and, you tell me one thing on one hand and nothing on another hand. I don't know whether there's bed bugs or not. I didn't order an escrow. order.
I've got a lot more
Keystone is
pictures.
unable to help you because you don't have Michigan ID or residency. So-
I just got my marriage license through the mail. I had to order 2 sets. One of my husbands is dead. I just got them. I have to take them in.
One of my husbands? She did just say that, right?
At this point,
Yeah.
As of March 11th through now,
Okay.
you don't have Michigan identification. so
I'm on my
they-
honeymoon, Your Honor.
the housing assistance. Secondly, you don't want to live there. You hate it. You said you want to move somewhere else, anywhere other than there. Third, you think they're all a bunch of liars and they don't like you. Well, they filed.
I
an
said
action-
Tim.
Damn.
I gave you the right last time to contact an attorney. Did you ever call legal aid or anyone else?
Yes, the legal aid has a bunch of pictures and stuff.
Well, did you talk to someone from legal aid?
Meg Bauer is the lady that I sent her the pictures of different times that I've been bit up.
All right.
Meg!
Meg Bauer immediately after this. Because
No,
she made
I
me-
got out over before that.
All right, well, I'm about to order. You have 10 days to move out. You have to pay $1,978.56.
I can't live here then?
Shut up, Meg.
No. You have to pay the
What?
rent or move out.
Shut up, Meg.
Well, isn't Keystone gonna help me?
No, because you don't have Michigan residency.
Well,
You
I
can-
have got the license now. I just got the second set of marriage
All right, well,
license.
then I would
said she didn't want to live there.
don't immediately.
Shut up,
If
Meg.
Yes, I've been in
rent is all
contact with
paid,
them.
You get to stay there.
Well, I was in contact with her.
Stop,
earlier.
will you please stop interrupting
I'm
me? I'll
sorry.
give you a chance to speak.
I'm
Hey, I can't see you. You got your head so close to the camera. All I see
I'm
is
sorry.
Shut up! Head. And B, you keep moving around all the time and it's making me dizzy. And C, you keep
Shut
up! So
Sorry
I'm
about
trying to
that.
explain this.
I got a broke back.
4 places it's broke, by the way.
All right, 179677 is your rent through April. Court costs are 181.79, which is total of 1,798.56. I took sworn testimony from your executive director that as of the 7th of April, there are no bed bugs in that unit. I don't know whether there were or weren't, or whether there could be an abatement hearing, but we haven't had one. I advised you of your rights a month ago to contact legal aid. You indicate you have contacted legal aid. If they're gonna do something, they need to move.
Shut up,
set
Meg.
this aside within the next 10 days. In addition, Amy Lucas is here from Keystone. She indicated you've been working on getting your ID. If you got your ID, call Keystone immediately. Perhaps they can pay your
What happened
rent.
to Amy's lip?
And then you'll be back
Diabetes.
on square one. I don't know whether
Diabetes.
there's bed bugs there or not. According to the most recent inspection, the bed bugs are gone. I don't know if the bed bugs are your fault or their fault. It's always, the tenant says the landlord gave them to me and the landlord says the tenant brought them in here. So it's a chicken or the egg circumstance.
What landlord, even the worst landlord in the world, would bring bed bugs into a place?
To pay $1,978.56, or you are subject to being evicted.
You sure that you don't know anybody who can pay that for me?
Aid or some other council moves to stay the eviction, or B, you pay the rent, Keystone or otherwise. So I'm gonna send you this. Miss Edwards, would you present me with a judgment? I don't think I have one.
Yes, I can have one sent over today.
Miss Bauer knows her landlord-tenant law, and she's here quite often. Miss Edwards knows hers too. We adjourned this.
Shut
for a
up,
month.
Meg.
I took the testimony regarding the Curtis status of the property, and I've instructed you on what you need to do. If you
Surprised
don't do
Meg
any
isn't
of
here.
those, you need to move out.
Yeah.
At one point, you told me you were gonna move out anywhere but there.
And she just said that. Yeah.
I got upset.
Yeah.
I'll send you a copy of this judgment as soon as
I'm a Spitfire, Your Honor.
Got a little upset. I didn't mean it.
All right. Miss Edwards, I'm not sure.
All right. That is that. We still got a little time for you. Still got a little more court in action. If you have not liked this, please do. Appreciate it. Great crowd. Again, we do this 5 days a week at 1 p.m. East. What? Who do you got, Rock?
We got first appearance coming up.
In the gym.
Are you Nicholas Ferguson?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Nice hair, Nicholas. Looking good, bud.
All right, we'll start the Monday, April 11th, first.
Real quick, I just bumped it back up to live over here at 3B. I just wanted you to see the top of that. We might actually want to. Oh, and he just cut
the
it.
tip.
Son
Just
of a
the tip.
bitch. Just cut it.
State
Oh, that was
appears
looking.
by Assistant
Oh, that was
County
looking so
Attorney
good.
Jake Castillo. You're raising your hand, sir?
Yeah, my middle name is Braden, not Brandon. I
Okay.
don't know how.
Let's go, Braden.
I don't know if that matters or not. I just wanted to let you know.
All right, thanks for pointing that out. The defendant, Nicholas Ferguson.
I just want to show you real quick. Deborah Davis has really let herself go. I haven't seen her in about a week, but wow.
She is need to get on that.
Warrant to show cause that was filed back in December. You had a court date for March 16th in which you failed
11
to
days
appear,
after my
Mr.
birthday.
Ferguson.
No,
Why
sorry,
weren't you in
90.
court on March 16th?
When they gave me the paperwork for my court date, I thought that it was March 22nd. And
It says
so I
7.99
just
K.
missed it.
Yeah, somewhere. I'll
All
give it
right.
a 10 bucks.
Well,
Yeah.
looks like Judge Sanders set a new bond in the amount of $7,500 cash or surety.
Hey, Lisa Snoopy.
Since
Overtime.
you didn't ever make an appearance on the warrant to show cause, there's a couple of allegations that you violated your probation, Mr. Ferguson. It alleges that you failed to remain in contact with your ISO, failed to report current whereabouts, that you were unsuccessfully discharged from your Senate Bill 123 treatment. So those are the allegations.
Tons of allocations.
I'm going to set a new court date. This is Judge Hart's case. I'm going to put this on his next warrant to show cause docket,
World's
which
oldest
is May 6th at 2:30.
officer
And that
in the house.
you must appear in person at the Butler County Judicial Center for that hearing, Mr. Ferguson, May 6th, 2022 at 2:30.
Yeah, Sally's looking hot, huh?
Sally, you know.
Now, you were previously represented by, looks like
The
Jim
Sally
Watts. Do you intend to hire counsel to represent you?
I will not be able to. I have no money.
I'm what they call
Are you not
indigent.
employed?
I am not anymore. I lost my job when they brought me in here.
Oh,
Your
Where
fault.
were
your
you
fault.
I was working at Brahms,
And where, which location?
Newton.
I can see that.
Okay. When were you brought in on the warrant?
Oh, he's pounding some coal boy. Right there.
It would have been last Monday.
Yeah.
So you've been in jail for a week?
Yeah.
Your hair grew that much.
Do you
in a
have
week?
other cases pending in Butler County?
Nope.
How long had you worked at Brahms?
2 weeks.
I worked there before I worked there like a year and a half. And then I quit and I went and worked at Bonefish Grill, and then I worked at Outback Steakhouse for about a year. And then I went back to Bronx for a few months.
I was the main spice guy to make
How
sure that
much
you
were you
can't
making
it's an
for it?
inedible steak because it burns the
No.
roof of your mouth. That's what I was
Well,
doing at
I-
Outback.
Do you have any
I just feel
dependents
like
that
this
you
for an
support?
hour on a steak.
What about your living arrangements?
I was living at my grandpa's rental house. So it's
Rent-free?
about
I
600 a
presume?
month.
Oh,
Were you paying him rent?
Yeah.
my grandpa's
Come on.
real a-hole, Your Honor.
I'll reappoint Jim Watts to represent you.
Do you think he's covering up a bald spot? It's like
So
come
we've got,
forward.
there's already a
Oh, I
bond
think, yeah.
set. We've got a court
Yeah, the
date.
kiln
We've
forward.
appointed counsel, Mr. Castillo. Is there anything else we need to address on Mr. Ferguson's case at this time?
Do not believe so, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ferguson, do you have any questions?
So I'm just gonna sit here May 6th unless I get bonded out.
Unless you can
Yeah.
post the bond of
That's how-
17
how it
or
works.
7,500
yeah.
cash or surety.
Okay.
It's very important.
I'm
that
staying
you
here is what you're
make
saying.
your court dates or
Yeah.
this is what happens.
Yeah, trust me, I understand that now.
So,
That's what I figured.
all right, then, Mr. Ferguson.
Also, I have
Go
another
ahead.
question.
Percent for?
So the Senate Bill 123 thing, since it failed to work or whatever, are you guys just gonna retry me on that charge? Or how's that gonna work?
You'll need to discuss any questions you have about the merits of the case with your attorney. And then he can answer those questions for you. And then the case will be taken up in front of Judge Hart since he was the judge who had the case.
Is this Kansas?
Thank you.
All right, if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess on the Nicholas Ferguson case. Have a good day, sir.
If it is Kansas, what
Yeah,
that
Kansas.
is. It is Kansas.
Yep.
All right. So that SB 123 they talk about, it was a bill in 2019. It expands eligibility for a non-prison sanction of placement in a certified drug abuse treatment program.
We got another winner just walked in, by the way, over here.
Oh, really? Well, let's go right back.
Leslie, is it La Violette?
Yes, sir.
La Violette.
All right, we'll next take up State of Kansas versus Leslie Lewis La Violette, case number 20 CR
named Leslie.
493. The state appears by Assistant County Attorney Jake
We're gonna do a few
Castillo.
minutes of overtime.
Defendant,
or-
Mr. La Violette, appears
we can do a
in
little bit.
person in custody at the
I'll be
Butler County Jail. All parties are appearing by Zoom today. Mr. La Violette, there's allegations that you've violated your probation.
Yeah.
It's alleged that you failed to obey
Yeah.
all federal, state, and local laws, that you failed to obtain a batter's intervention
Maybe.
assessment within 30 days, that you failed to refrain from the possession and consumption of alcohol and drugs, failed to pay costs, fines, and fees
Yep.
associated with the case, failed to pay 1/12 of the total cost each month starting in February 2021. Judge Webster has established a bond for you in the amount of $1,500 cash or
He's quite
surety.
handsome.
I'm going to place this case back on her next misdemeanor control and warrant to show cause docket, which will be Monday, June 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That'll be a Zoom hearing.
Oh, man. He does look like a dangerous Woody Harrelson.
Looks like Mr. Patterson was representing you on this case before. What's your employment situation, Mr. LaViolette?
I mean, I'm not sure what's going on here because I was explained something totally different by my probation officer.
That's not what you
yesterday.
were asked.
I mean, not yesterday, but Friday. I put in for a
He asked where he worked.
travel permit to go out of state for work, and my probation officer had put a warrant out for me in January because she forgot to take it down because I hadn't reported, but I reported that following Monday and she just found the warrant. I don't know what any of this other stuff is. Like, I mean, it's news to me. So
Your Honor, you're making.
I mean, I know what it is. It's just I was told to turn myself in on my warrant. I'd be OR'd out today, and so that I could get my travel permit to go to work. And I
Who's your
work for
probation officer?
Lori McManus.
That guy was just in here.
All right. Mr. Castillo, do you have any information different than what I have?
No, Your Honor. There's quite the number of allegations against the defendant at this time, and I don't see anything within the allegations of anything regarding out-of-state travel, so that's not an issue.
I had a trip to Disney World plane, Your Honor.
What do you mean? I'm not understanding.
It's alleged that you have failed to pay court costs as directed, that there was violations of the law occurring in Sedgwick County, case number 22C1461 with a dated offense of January 8th, that there was a failure to complete a BIP assessment and follow the recommendations and refrain from possession and consumption of drugs and or alcohol.
And all of that was taken care of. So I'm not understanding why it's saying that wasn't taken care of, because that was.
Well, it's very possible that some of this you may have taken care of since the warrant was filed, but nonetheless, these are the allegations. What I need to establish, Mr. LaViolette, is if you intend to hire an attorney to represent you, or if you want to apply for counsel or represent yourself.
I mean, I'm not understanding what's going
I
on.
was just told I could
was
turn
told to
myself
turn
in
myself
and-
in. I'd be OR'd out and back to work by.
Well, I don't know who advised you there'd be an OR bond. There's already
They
a bond
lied.
that's been established as a 1,500 cash or surety. That was set by the judge in your case, which is Judge Webster. She knows your case better than I. I'm not going to disturb her bond. So if you want to bond out, you'll need to post 1,500 cash or make arrangements with a bondsman. That's a very reasonable, makeable bond, Mr.
I mean, I
LaViolette.
shouldn't even have a bond though. I was told by my probation officer to turn myself in on a warrant that she forgot she had put out because I put in for a travel permit. I mean, this is going to cost me my job I just got. I mean, how am I supposed to pay for these things if I do what I'm asked by the courts, but then I'm thrown in jail for doing it?
Mr. LaViolette, I have not received any
Nice, you just
communications
say,
from the probation
I'm
officer
free and I can just walk
to
away.
withdraw the warrant. It doesn't appear that the county attorney's office has either.
This guy's glasses get dirty really quick. by
I'm
the
not
way. It's
going
like
to
the
at
fourth
this
time.
point.
I didn't even know about the warrant until she had told me when
Okay, well,
out of state. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I apologize.
I understand what you are saying, Mr. LaViolette, but this is the situation that you're
Yes.
in. You've got a very makeable
Cleans them
bond.
all day.
You've got a new court date. I need to establish if you wish to hire an attorney or apply for a court-appointed attorney.
This is a
or
big mistake,
represent
Your Honor.
yourself.
You're
I mean,
completely
at this
wrong, Your
point, I'm not understanding because I'm not. I mean, if I stay in here till June, then I
told me to
don't.
turn myself
I
in
don't
just
have
for
any
fun.
money to bond out. If I had money to bond out, I wouldn't be sitting. I mean, I was
Go
told
through
something
bail
totally
bondsman. It's like
different
5% of 1,500.
prior. Otherwise, I would have made arrangements financially to be bonded out on a $1,500 bond. I was told I
Sally
would be
Port
out
needed some cleaning.
today and back to work by tomorrow. So turn myself in, and this would all be taken care of. So how am I supposed to explain whether or not I can afford
All this started from
to
him
get an
asking him
attorney
where he was employed.
when I'm not prepared for any of this? Because I was told something totally different. I would have came in with it.
Where are you working?
I work for Multicon Sports out of Park City, Your Honor.
Okay. Well,
Con
I'm going to
Sports.
appoint Darren Patterson to represent you. He was your attorney on the case originally. If Mr. Patterson has information that the court's not privy to, he can bring it to the attention of the county attorney's office and the court perhaps.
I mean,
But-
excuse me, Your Honor, where is my probation officer at? She said she would be here for this hearing. I mean, that was part of the terms of me turning myself in willingly, which I did twice. She gave me a sanction, which I turned myself in on, and then I turned myself in on this sanction.
Ooh, this one down here.
I've done everything
I
that
don't
she has
have a
asked
brother.
me to do.
But if I did, it would
Well,
look
perhaps with the help of your attorney, you can
Or
get
some of
in
your cooking
contact with
brother
her.
who
But
gave
she
you-
has not
Give us a strike
Like
here.
I
joined
said.
the meeting and has not contacted the court. So
Okay, so how am I supposed to make arrangements to get
Wow,
bonded
he's got
out
a
if
lot of
we're on
questions.
5-day quarantine where we're not allowed out of our cell? I mean, I have a
do you have family members or somebody you can call?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, Your Honor. They have us on a 5-day quarantine where you're not allowed out of your cell for 5 days straight. So you're not allowed to use a phone or video or anything like that.
Your Honor, if I can make sure he's able to use the phone this afternoon.
All right, I'd appreciate that. It sounds like they're going to make a phone available to you, Mr. LaViolette.
That's where
so
they
you
won't
can
let you
call
use the
and
phone for
hopefully
5
find somebody that can assist you on making
That's
that
kind of
bond.
shitty if that's true.
That is shitty.
Thank you. Sorry,
Sounds
Your Honor.
like it
I'm
is, 'cause-
I'm just a little, I was not aware of all of this. Otherwise, I would have came a lot more prepared. My probation officer explained to me one thing and I did exactly what she asked me to do. And then now there's, oh, well, you'll be in here till June. I mean, that's kind of upsetting, because I just started getting my life on track and then here I am doing the right thing and it's like I'm being punished for it. So, I mean.
Well, perhaps there's a miscommunication
his hair is
somewhere
a
along the
mess.
lines, but again, you have a very reasonable bond here and hopefully you can contact somebody that will.
By the way, I need to just go ahead and point this out. He's balding here and he's keeping this patch of hair, holding on to it. But you see, this is his actual hairline back here. And
Yeah, it's
then all
very
of a
weird.
sudden we have this split right
Yeah.
here. The
Yeah.
continental divide, and then massive hair loss back here.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to pick on the guy and pile on him, but shave your head, son.
Assist you in making it. So,
All right, thank you, Your Honor. I apologize.
Mr. Castillo, anything else we need to address on Mr. LaViolette's case?
He has a segmented hairline.
Your Honor, evidently during Mr. Violet's hearing, his probation officer has called our office and asked for him to be released. So I guess at this point, based upon what the probation officer has stated, the state is going to request that this case that this warrant show cause be dismissed.
So she's requesting that the warrant itself be withdrawn.
Your Honor, based upon the note that I have on what she has said, it says he is doing great and would like him to be released.
What? I didn't see that coming.
Your Honor, I'm just notifying the court of what the probation officer is stating. The state has the warrant in front of it. The state is ready to proceed on the warrant. However, we're going to leave it to the court's discretion on that. But based upon the probation officer making the statement she did, not entirely certain what's going on, but with this, I don't know if we should move forward on it.
Oh my God, they
Well,
messed up on this guy.
The
being
note
locked
from the
up.
probation officer seems to corroborate,
Kansas, JJ.
at least in part, what Mr. Violet's stated to the court.
Wow.
I think at this point, based on that, I'm going to
You blew it.
withdraw the warrant.
Wow.
If that is in any way not what the probation officer had in mind, then a new warrant can be submitted. But the court date that I previously set is no longer, will be taken off the docket. There's no need for an appointed attorney, so Mr.
There's
Patterson
no need
is
for you
not
to sue
appointed
us your
on this
sirship.
case. You have no
messed up.
required bond, Mr. LaViolette, and if you have unless you have any other holds, then you should be able to be released this afternoon.
No, Your Honor, I appreciate it. I just worked very hard in the last 90 days to get here. So that's why I was upset.
Good for
So I
him if he
apologize.
did. I mean,
If he
I
had,
understand why you'd be upset, but
You guys
All
have
right.
to do. I understand. Have them. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Castillo, anything else then?
No, Your Honor.
And thank you for bringing that to the
messed
court's
up.
attention.
Messed
We'll
up.
be in recess then on the LaViolette case. Good luck to you, sir.
You
Thank
blew
you.
it.
Wow.
You blew it.
All right, those are the
Wow.
only two cases I show on my list, Mr. Castillo.
That was pretty interesting.
What
to
a
say the
F up
least.
on their part.
Good job to him.
Because it seems like he was saying his probation officer told him, "Hey, go turn yourself in. I forgot to add this on. That should have been there in the first place. You can go ahead and just turn it around and come right back out with an OR bond, but I need to
Yeah.
have this in place."
Hello,
And-
nothing to see here. Welcome and hi. We love the lurkers too. Always good to.
Oh yeah.
Stop.
And they just like swept him under the rug. He's like, "I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be released," and they're like, "Oh no, go sit in that
And-
cell for 5 days."
Yeah, and that's kind of crazy with the 5-day thing. Yeah, to not is there any states that you're not allowed to use a phone with your other? I mean, unprecedented times, but still all of these restrictions in some places. That is insane. Good for him. I'm glad to actually see that. I'm glad that for once you've got a prisoner sitting there not freaking lying.
Yeah,
which is crazy. That
I think we
was
should-
did that.
yeah,
That's
a
end on a nice
definitely.
note. You know,
Definitely need to not press our luck and end on that, because that was definitely a
for him.
showstopper.
Nice to see that come through. Now, here's where I'm confused. Was he sitting there maybe emailing the parole officer or digging
Or-
into paperwork, or how? I wonder how that came about.
Either
So
A,
weird.
she was watching,
right,
or B, he messaged her and said, "Hey, this jerk is saying, you're supposed to let him go." And then she was like, "Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
This is a huge mistake. I didn't even see that coming."
Wow. And
Good
that
for
was
him.
right at the last. If he didn't ask a bunch of questions, most judges will shut you down too.
It'd
Won't
have been
let you
swept
even
under the
ask.
rug. He'd have been right back to his cell. But he was like, "Look, I'm gonna run my mouth. I'm gonna filibuster till maybe something comes through." And
Yeah.
last
Wow.
second, clutch. Mini Chase Monday, Creed. Don't forget, we got that coming up next. Quite a few chases, by the way.
JG, with the amount of people that these amount of cases and people that most of these guys, even lawyers, paid lawyers, it's so hard to have a personal connection or even understand. Look at how many times things are thrown in front of a judge, right? Stacks of paperwork, have no idea what's going on in the case, haven't looked at it before. It's all as you go. So that's entirely a possibility. I would imagine that a lot of the public defenders, especially, I can't imagine how many people that they see on a daily basis. So I would imagine that's very easy. Anyways, yeah, appreciate you guys. Mini Chase Monday is coming up at 4:05 East for We Gotta Chase. Appreciate you guys. We Got a Case is a huge success. That's why we put 2 hours a day into it. Potentially more here in the future. There's so much great Zoom court out there. So, oh, good, we made it over 100 likes.
Yay. If you haven't already liked this video, do so now. Now's the time. This is the last 11th hour, 12th hour, they call it.
Yeah.
This is it. Your
All
time is up. If you haven't already subscribed, think about doing so. If you're over on Facebook, share.
Please.
There's none of this over there.
I want to do something at some point. Maybe when look at this guy's face down here. I want to do something maybe Facebook exclusive for a week and just try to. Facebook needs court. There's nothing on Facebook like this. We'll have to figure that out.
Sure.
All right, guys. We'll see you at 4:05. Come back for We Got to Chase. Mini Chase Monday is on its way. If we don't see you, we'll be back here 1 o'clock tomorrow. We Got a Case continues 2 more full hours. And yeah.
Before I go, make sure you subscribe to our case only channel. We Got a Case. Look for it Subscribe over there so you make sure you get all your notifications when you need them. Until next time, please remember.
These biscuits, hey!
Dude.
Red Robin. Yum.